Would you like to achieve higher state of consciousness where you really raise in consciousness so you can tap into the higher realms, higher wisdom, higher knowledge, even source wisdom? If so, then this video is for you, because I want to share with you 8 tips on what you can do to raise your consciousness so you can elevate your consciousness so you can tap into source wisdom, higher wisdom, and connect with the higher realms. So let's dive right in with the very first tip here, which is practicing mindfulness. When you practice mindfulness, you really become aware of your thoughts. You're watching your thoughts. You're becoming aware of what are you thinking. And whenever you're becoming aware that you're thinking some limiting thoughts, having limiting feelings, then what you want to do is you want to tune in, connect with that from a detached point of view to assess, to then also look for the higher truth in that thought that you have. Because when you're being mindful, it will be easier for you to catch any of those limiting beliefs, those limiting thoughts, the limiting thought patterns that you're having that are usually running in the background. And when you do, and you really tap into and really open yourself up, okay, what is the truth here? What is the higher truth here? Is this really what I want to believe? Is this really of truth? And most often you will get a no or a yes, but, right? So it's never a full truth. It's never a yes, this is of truth. So when you become aware and you want to be detached from the story, from what's going on, and really just become mindful of your thoughts, and then choose higher thoughts, and also reflect on those negative beliefs, because oftentimes those negative beliefs, those limiting beliefs, they hold a deeper meaning, because there's maybe something that requires healing, that requires your attention, that requires for you to maybe then make a different choice. But becoming mindful is a great way that it will also raise your consciousness, because as you're tapping into the higher truth, that allows you to tap into a higher level of frequency, a higher level of thought forms, which then also elevates your consciousness. Then the second tip is spend time on shadow work and emotional healing. Because when you then start healing these shadow aspects, these emotional wounds, when you heal them, when you release them, when you transcend them, you're actually also then raising in consciousness, because you're letting go of all the stuff that is really weighing you down right now. Because all these shadow aspects, these emotional woundings that you've experienced throughout your life, it's holding you back, it's overshadowing you, it's also keeping you in the 3D world, and it's keeping you disconnected from the higher realms. So the more shadow work you do, the more you really tap into those emotional woundings and start healing them and clearing them, releasing them, and then also transcending them, the easier it will be for you then to tap into a higher level consciousness. Because you're then letting go of anything that is really keeping you in the lower level frequencies. And if you do enjoy shadow work, if you want to learn more, then check out my brand new channel, Soul Alchemist. The link is in the description below, where I focus more on shadow work, inner healing, and raising your consciousness. So if that's of interest to you, I want to invite you, maybe join me on my new channel as well. Link is in the description below. So that's the second tip. Then the third tip is start a daily meditative practice, where each day you tune in, you meditate, you contemplate, really tuning out your ego mind, and really become silent, become still, tuning in, really letting go of anything and everything that doesn't need to be there in that moment, and really just quiet down your mind. The more you tune in, the more you connect, and during meditation, that is really what you do, the more you're able to raise your consciousness as well, because you don't also not bugged down by all these thoughts that you're having. And when you meditate, it also becomes easier for you to really then become more mindful and to watch your thoughts, to watch what you're feeling, to watch really what's going on, to then really elevate that as well. So starting a daily meditative practice is really important and can help you in raising your consciousness as well, because as you're meditating, you can tap into a higher state of being. And here, if you don't really like meditation, then here I want to suggest start with guided meditations. That's how I started out, because in the beginning I had a hard time meditating, so I started with guided meditation, and to this day I still use a lot of guided meditations as well, especially those focused based guided meditations that have a specific topic that can also help you elevate your consciousness and things like that. So but starting with a daily meditative practice is really beneficial to help you raise your consciousness. Then the fourth tip is actually connecting more with Mother Nature. When you can go outside and really connect with Mother Nature, putting both feet on the ground and connect yourself deeply, for one, it's very grounding, it's very centering, and you can also tap into what's all around you. When you tune in and you just open your senses, you open yourself up to, you feel the air, you feel the ground underneath your feet, you feel the essence all around you, the birds, the trees, the flowers, all of that. You can really tune into that. The more you tune into that, that also helps you tap into a higher level consciousness, because the human consciousness is not able to tap into those things. So the more you connect to that, the more you open yourself up, the more you connect with Mother Nature, you are lifting in consciousness. And quite frankly, connecting with Mother Nature is very beneficial, especially for those of us who are highly sensitive, the empath, the intuitives, the highly sensitive souls, because that is very grounding, very nurturing as well. So maybe give this a try. And then the fifth tip is engage with content of higher frequency. Here I'm talking about reading books that of channeled work, for example, or watching videos here on YouTube that are of higher frequency channeled work, whether it's channeled meditations or even my light language activations as well. They're all of a higher frequency. Listen to spiritual teachers, take courses around spirituality or even about raising your consciousness and things like that can help you as well, because any work that was channeled, whether it is a channeled book or a video or any like light language or anything like that, as we are channeling, us channels, we're tapping into a higher level frequency, and we actually then put it into the content that we're creating. Like each and every one of my videos includes a higher level frequencies, because I actually channel each and every one of my content, and especially my forecasts, they are channeled works. When you're connecting with higher frequency content, such as whether it's my videos or someone else's videos or books or courses or anything like that, it also helps you raise in consciousness, because you're then soaking in the higher frequency that is embedded into the content that was created by the creator who channeled this work. So the more you consume or engage with higher frequency content, the more you raise in frequency as well. Then the sixth tip is energy work. Whether it's you learning energy work, whether it's Reiki or quantum healing or any of those healing modalities, even light language is also a healing modality as well. It's also energy work because it's channeling energy, right? And whether it's you learning it for yourself or you're actually getting healing sessions, it's very, very beneficial, because as you are actually channeling or working with the energy, that actually clears out your system, so to speak, of any interferences, any blockages. Even you listening to my light language activations, the same thing. It clears out any stuck energies, and the more you clear out, the more you release, the more you raise in frequency. And when you do your own healing, if you do, let's say, learn your own healing modality, that of course speeds up the process as well. But working with energy is very, very powerful to help you raise your frequency, because the more you work with energy, well, the more you're being uplifted, because the more you're clearing out, the more you're letting go of all that 3D limited kind of frequency that is really keeping you disconnected from the higher realms, the higher level consciousness. Then the seventh tip is develop your gifts, your 4 clears: clairaudience, claircognizance, clairsentience, clairvoyance. The more you're developing your gifts, that also raises your frequency, raises your consciousness, because you're tapping into that higher level frequency in order to really use your gifts. And the more you develop your gifts, the more you raise in consciousness. And here what you can do is you can work with, let's say, oracle cards or tarot cards. You can do automatic writing. You can listen to your intuition more. Whatever it is, but you want to develop your gifts. And if you're not quite sure how to go about this, then I want to check out my course, Awakening the Oracle Within, where I teach you how to unlock and develop all of your clears, all 4 of your clears. So if that's of interest to you, the link is in the description below. But developing your gifts definitely will assist you in raising your consciousness, because when you start using your intuition, when you're really tapping in, when let's say you're reading cards, you're reading oracle cards or tarot cards or doing automatic writing, that then actually also opens you up to channeling, like really channeling the words, channeling the guidance. Whenever you're looking at the cards, for example, instead of reading the booklet, you're maybe then channeling the guidance. That then too, you're tapping into the higher realms to receive that higher wisdom. You're channeling the higher wisdom. So developing your gifts is absolutely powerful and can assist you in raising your consciousness. And then the 8th and final tip that I want to share with you is be of service. Pay it forward. Share your gifts, share your wisdom, share your knowledge, share your beautiful healing abilities, whatever your gifts are, but share it, pay it forward, teach, guide, heal, whatever it is, but pay it forward. The more you tap into being of service, helping others, whether it is you just teaching stuff or you're sharing stuff with them, or you're actually doing hands-on healing or doing card readings or whatever it is, or even coaching, mentoring, guiding, whatever it is, maybe even doing videos like I do. Whatever it is, but pay it forward. The more you can be of service in that greater way, really sharing your wisdom, your knowledge, your teachings, whatever you have learned, that too will elevate your consciousness, elevate your frequency, and help you tap into that higher level consciousness. Because then you're becoming the channel for the higher realms, for that higher consciousness. So here are the 8 tips. I really hope that this was beneficial for you, that you enjoyed this. Now I'm curious to know which one of those tips that I just shared with you really resonate with you the most, or which one do you want to maybe consider trying? Because these tips that I just shared with you are really powerful in helping you raise your consciousness. And if you really would like to raise your consciousness, start with any of those tips that I shared with you and you will be able to raise your consciousness. Yes, it's going to take some time. It's going to take patience. It's going to take practice. But developing, let's say, a daily practice of really tuning into your gifts, connecting with the higher realms, really being intentional about making that connection is absolutely beneficial to raising your consciousness, so you can tap into the higher realms of consciousness. In the beginning, I started out with oracle cards. That then led me to just journaling, and as I was journaling, I didn't realize that I started talking in third person, so I actually was doing an automatic writing without even realizing that I was doing that, and then I continued with that. That then opened me up then, and of course at that time I was also working with Akashic Records, which also is higher consciousness and channeling. But it's like a progression, but you start with something, whether it's just working with oracle cards or tarot cards or just meditating each and every day, whatever it is, but there's a progression to it. So start with something and then progress. Try different things to see, okay, what works better for you? What do you really resonate with you the most? And then keep at it. Stick with this. Developing your gifts and raising your consciousness, it doesn't happen overnight. It's like a progression. It's like you want to be dedicated to this, but the more you do this, the more you open yourself up to this, the more you are intentional about that, the more you raise in consciousness. And that's what then opens you up to a whole new beautiful experience. So definitely, if you would like to raise your consciousness, do whatever you can to do so. And I just gave you 8 tips that I hope you enjoyed. If you did, do me a favor, hit the like button, maybe share it with someone that you know could benefit from listening to this. And I just want to say thank you so much for allowing me to bring this to you. Now be sure to check out these 2 videos here. 2 powerful light language activations about expanding your potential and also becoming your divine self. I think you're going to enjoy those. So thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to see you again in the next video. Until then, make an amazingly abundant and joyful day. Namaste.